Push forward,
I
man.
love you, but fuck you.
A lot of news has come out of EA Play this weekend. Some of it bad news, like the next major DLC not coming out until September, and some of it good news, like this.
Later this year, we're going to give you a new competitive Battlefield experience. We've heard you. You want a smaller, tighter experience focused on team play. You want all-out war built for competition, and you want it accessible to players and to viewers. And it's coming. I can't wait to share more with you guys at Gamescom in August.
What's funny here is this is really an announcement of an announcement. We expected to hear something because back in May, during an investors calling, Andrew Wilson, the CEO of EA, said this. Later this year, we'll launch our first Battlefield 1 competition, unlocking the competitive spirit that runs deep within our Battlefield community. There's plenty of info to dive into here, and fair warning, everything from this point on is pure speculation and I could be completely wrong within the next couple months. So what is this smaller, tighter experience based on teamwork? BradFX, who was a caster for previous competitive Battlefield events, posted in the ESL Battlefield Discord during a discussion about the few details that were released. It's a fun mode and has some potential, so keep an eye out. What's important here is that he said it was a fun mode, which leads me to believe it's a completely new game mode, not just a rule set tacked onto an existing game mode. DICE has a history now of working with select members of the community to achieve a goal, and who better to work with to achieve a competitive experience than a caster whose main job is to understand the meta of a competitive game. So I believe him when he insinuates that he's played this mode already. Now I think DICE and EA know they have a problem if they want to stay relevant in today's esports-centric market. Battlefield is all about 64 players running around a huge map waging all-out war. The problem is that 64 players is chaos, and chaos is not competitive. To be a competitive game mode, it needs to be smaller. Smaller teams are easier to recruit, they're easier to practice with, and they're easier to strategize. Also, the logistics of flying out 32-man teams to a LAN event is unfathomable. The prize pool split 32 ways, and to still look enticing would be way too expensive. Although if you're in esports for the money, then you're doing it wrong. What DICE and EA need is a rebranding of Battlefield. Patrick Sutherland said that competitive needs to be accessible to players and viewers. The reason Rainbow Six's Pro League is so enjoyable to watch is it's the exact same game mode the casual community plays, with a couple of rule set exceptions like the diffuser taking longer to set and disable. This makes Pro League easy to watch. You can relate because you attacked that objective just last night. Every time you see a video of a competitive Battlefield, you always see, "This isn't Battlefield" in the comments. You see these videos are 5v5 dom or squad obliteration, and this is not what the casual community plays when they open up Battlefield, so it's hard to follow and they can't relate. For competitive Battlefield to work, we need to change what Battlefield is. I believe the new game mode will be 5v5, maybe 12v12 max. It will probably have vehicles, maybe one tank or plane depending on the map. A casual form of this mode will probably be available through the server browser, and a ranked version would be accessible through an ELO-based matchmaking system. It might be round-based with attackers and defenders switching off, but I think this diverts too far from the current Battlefield formula. This mode would need plenty of exposure. It would need to be prominent on the dashboard of the game, and DICE and EA would probably need to pay big YouTubers and Twitch streamers to play it. Over everything, this game mode needs to be fun, which is the only reason the majority of the community would even play it. An ELO-based matchmaking system would go a long way to help the longevity of Battlefield 1 as well. I think the reason we have such a terrible DLC schedule for this game is DICE and EA are looking at Overwatch. The Overwatch community got a whopping total of 2 new maps and 3 heroes over the course of 1 year, while Battlefield got 4 new maps and 6 new weapons and only 1 expansion. Why does Overwatch get away with releasing so little content over the course of 1 year, while Battlefield releases so much more in only 1 DLC, but it still isn't enough to hold people's interests? That's because you don't play Overwatch to consume content. You play Overwatch to get better at Overwatch. Each time you see your rank improve, you get hyped, and you think one day you'll be Grandmaster. And each time you de-rank, it's motivation to get better. Practice makes perfect, so you need to play Overwatch to get better at Overwatch, which brings you back. Battlefield has nothing like that. Sure, you can rank up to level 110, but that doesn't mean anything. It only means you've played the game a lot. It's not really anything to brag about. But what if you had a diamond rank in Battlefield 1? A diamond would only be awarded to the top 0.5% of the player base. Let's say you play your 10 placement matches of competitive Battlefield 1, and you play Scold 1, and you tell yourself, no, I'm better than that, and you practice sliding around corners with your Automatico while you play more competitive. Then you get to Plat 3 and you're so much closer to Diamond, but you notice there's never a good medic on your team. So you take it upon yourself to get good with the autoloading 835 so you can remain competitive against the Automaticos while still reviving your team. Then you finally reach Diamond, and with that comes the bragging rights and all the cosmetic bonuses. And then the season comes to an end and the ranks are reset, and you get to do that all over again for the next 3 months. This kind of dedication would keep you coming back to Battlefield every night. Then the first season of Battlefield Pro League comes up and you get hyped to watch every stream because you want to see what the Pro League meta is and how you can implement that in your own personal play. But again, this is just speculation based off of what little details we have so far. It could be a whole new game dedicated to competitive for all we know, though I feel this would not be as advantageous as a game mode would be in Battlefield 1. What about some things that would need to change before Battlefield could even be considered competitive? Well, for the game to be accessible to the casual community, we really can't change much. We can't ban any weapons or gadgets, so there'll be automaticos, shotguns, and explosives. But for the game mode to be competitive, we need to get rid of weather. Every map must be clear and sunny, or as close to sunny as the map theme would allow. We have a couple months for DICE to fix the glaring competitive issues in the game at the moment, and as of now, we know they're at least working on it. Some big things that come to mind are the insane strafing speed that soldiers have, also the muzzle, smoke, and flash completely obstructing your target. These things are on DICE's radar already, and it's possible they'll already be addressed by Gamescom in August. And while they're at it, I think they should probably take another pass at the Automatico Trench. I don't want it to be useless, but in its current state, it's way too easy to use for the amount of reward it gives you. Anybody can pick it up and do extremely well, and that's not competitive. But that's a topic for a completely different video. So what are your thoughts on Battlefield 1 competitive? What do you think this competitive, smaller, tighter experience based on teamwork is? Do you think I'm wrong? Let me know in the comments below. Thanks for watching. It's okay to be... Everybody follow Chesh.
I need a medic.
Attack the new objective.
Go, go, go!